not gasoline in China. And so these are Chengdu taxicabs. 20 cents, and you ride all day. I found a little fellow who wasn't very serious about war and politics. That famous Chinese comedian, the giant panda, one of the world's rarest animals, found only in the great mountains north of Chengdu. His name is Mei Lan, or Little Orchid. And I was able to bring him back to the States, where he is now in the famous Brookfield Zoo in Chicago. Pandas always do everything the hard way. If you think he's just going to step across that board, not Little Orchid. Pandas are born comics. They don't have to be trained to be funny. They even like to brush their teeth. You might not guess it, but pandas don't eat meat. They're strictly vegetarians. At least I hope this one is. Union, bringing precious stocks of munitions and oil to implement China's resistance. The famed Marco Polo Road, part of the Red Route, winding along the outskirts of Lanzhou, the China end of the 4,000-mile highway. Lanzhou is the capital of Jiangsu province on the muddy, swirling Yellow River, the world's most dangerous waterway. Rapid and treacherous, its floods have claimed the lives of millions. The people call it China Sorrow. This bridge was constructed 35 years ago by American engineers at a time when the Chinese believed that nothing built by man could withstand the power of the river. It still stands today, one of hundreds of signs of American influence in the new China. The rafts are made of inflated goat skins and can carry from 15 to 50 tons. There goes a shipment of melons, and yes, that is hay. These rafts are like toboggans. They can go down the stream, but not up. So going back, it's man carries raft, sometimes as much as 400 to 500 miles. High, thick walls are characteristic of cities of the Northwest. Built long ago as protection against Mongol and Mohammedan hordes, today these walls still serve a similar purpose. the people have dug air raid shelters under them, for bombers have penetrated even this remote section of China. Within the turreted walls is a central square, an ancient pagoda, both now named for Sun Yat-sen, the George Washington of China. Near Lanzhou, in the heart of the thriving, bustling Northwest, is the cradle of civilization, birthplace of the Chinese race. No longer a forbidden city closed to the outside world, it plays a vital and rejuvenating part in the rebirth of an ancient land. Every fragment of war news is followed through these bulletins and newspapers posted on the walls in Sun Yat-sen Square. Famine in China is such a familiar phrase that the first sight of these glutted markets in the Chinese Northwest is almost unbelievable. But the answer is unfortunately all too simple. Here are the most fertile farmlands in all of China. Crops are abundant, even to the point of surplus. Yet the problem of shipping bulky and perishable foods to distant regions is still unsolved. So here is food aplenty, while other parts of China starve. Some fruit trees bear so heavily that limbs have to be tied up. Orchards and vineyards cover thousands of acres. Circus Day, the same for kids all over the world. Even in China, little girls like to play house and pretend they're helping Big Sister do the laundry. Not camera shy here, but watch the next two youngsters. They would never admit they're frightened, oh no, but they're walking twice as fast as they had been when they saw the foreign devil. Nearby, a little fellow gathered what will be used for fuel. Uh-oh, an open-air job. I was invited to dinner by an official of the province who lives some 2 miles out of town. No taxis, so I tried an old American custom, which I'm sure Marco Polo never heard of. It didn't work. So I tried another that did. I finally arrived, and dinner was a very pleasant affair. In the center of the table is a can of Russian fish. Now here, rice, so plentiful in the south, is a luxury. And if you're not agile with your chopsticks, you may go hungry. So is the China end of the Russian supply route that comes down from Xinjiang and the Soviet in the north. It is the northwest counterpart of the Burma Road. Work on both these roads was begun at the same time, soon after the start of the war, as if Chiang Kai-shek even then realized that a long war would close ordinary lines of supply. A camel caravan approaches Lanzhou, loaded with munitions from the Soviet. More than 20,000 of these ships of the desert and thousands of pony carts carry commerce between China and Russia. The end of a journey, thousands of miles over mountain trails and dreary wastes, through outer Mongolia and across the steppes of Siberia, bringing great stores of oil and gasoline from the land of the Soviet. The Burma Road in the south and the Red Route in the north are literally the only roads by which sorely needed supplies can come in from the outside world. Slow, back-breaking, expensive, but there is no other way. He catches on. To Kokonor, into the land of the Mohammedans and the Lamas, to find the secret that has welded together conflicting religions of ancient China into the greatest religion of all, the brotherhood of a united people. Like the American Northwest, this is sheep country, and even the poorest people here eat mutton, a luxury in many parts of China. The woolen hides go to Russia in return for its exports of gas and oil. War reaches into this remote province for manpower as well, for this region is a training ground. We pass a group of recruits on their way to Lanzhou to be inducted into the army. Now here is a problem. Would our truck be able to ford this swollen stream? Wu, our driver, had a tremendous idea. He sent this lad in to see how far up the water comes on his britches, then measures the high water line on the buoy with the level of the motor. The decision was against us. We waited 2 days for the water to subside. Farmers homeward bound with their goatskin rafts. They dampen the surface of the hides frequently to make them more waterproof and airtight. And there's always a free air filling station. Another cave-in caused by rain means more delay. Landslides and avalanches are a constant threat. Sometimes trucks and men are buried in the falling rock. A trio of Mohammedans, typical of the more than 3 million in this area. Will they make it? Phew, that's the way I felt too. Here is evidence of China's road-building progress. There are almost as many roads in free China today as there were in all of China before the coming of the Japanese. And so the war is indirectly playing its part in opening up this back country.